Thank you. I'd first like to thank Kathy Gear and a lot of our friends for organizing the reunion gatherings for 50 years. And a special thanks to Ron McKinney for throwing the party last night. It was great. For 50 years, 1972. 50 years ago, we walked the halls of Miamisburg High School for the last time. We were also the last class to graduate from the old North and South buildings. Doesn't take much to kind of close your eyes and imagine yourself walking down the old South building. I remember when those bells would go off, we'd run out in the hallway. We had a couple minutes to get to the next class, and that was kind of our social media, was tied into those 2 or 3 minutes. Things have changed a little bit. But looking back, it was magical. This reminds me also of the rule of 18, 40, 65. So when you're 18, you're thinking, man, I think those people are talking bad about me. When you're 40, you're like, I don't give a damn what you say about me. And when you're 65, you realize nobody was ever talking about me. 1972, $27,000, you could buy a new house. And it was easy to afford because the average income was just about $12,000. A new car, $3,800. Gasoline, 55 cents. I love that. I remember many times reaching my pocket, I was like, man, I got $2.40. I can drive all week. And we did. We were good drivers back then, thanks to Hauser and Mr. Arrowwood. You drive to the cinema, pay $1.75, and see the top movie that came out that particular week. And by the way, 1972, The French Connection, that was the #1 movie at that time. We had around 330 kids in our graduating class, and I think we all felt safe and we felt optimistic about our future. College was possible for most of us, but there were many paths to be taken to carve out a life. We were not all headed to Harvard with that tuition of $2,800. But what we got from MHS was a belief that we could do anything. George W. Bush addressed the college grads a few years ago, and he began his commencement with he started commending all of the students that graduated with honors. And he said, you should be proud of all of the hard work that you've done. And then he said, now to all you C students, you too one day can become the President of the United States. If Miamisburg High School was a garden, the soil in that garden was perfect for us to grow and blossom. And we did. And our children have. And now our children's children have. What is it that enriches that soil, or our soul, however you want to look at it? It was having opportunities at our school, be it clubs, sports, band, drama. It was having teachers that cared and inspired us. And I could go on, but at the pinnacle of this list, I believe it's relationships, lasting friendships. A wise man asked a room full of young people, if you want me to show you your future, show me your friends. I've been blessed with lifelong friends. Ben Rector, he's a singer-songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee. He has a song that reminds us, you can't make old friends. You can't make old friends. He says, I have new friends, but I've never sat on their parents' back porch. You can't make old friends. In that Miamisburg High School garden, our seeds were planted, those flowers and roots have been nurtured, and I see on posts on Facebook from the girls that I went to school with that still get together. I mean, all the time, I get to see the pictures. I know they take vacations together. And that's just incredible to me. They're celebrating their vacation together, and they're still doing that after 50 years of leaving high school, but they've known each other for another 20 years before that. We lost one of our classmates recently, Eddie Warwick. His wife Carol shared a picture in his final days, and standing beside him were his childhood friends, Max, Lenny, Rusty, Tim, and Dale. How powerful is that? How loving is that? You can't make old friends. In these last few days, we've connected once again, telling stories, realizing your story is my story, and it's our story. One of my first friends from school was Ronnie Bedford, who passed away recently as well. His daughter shared the sad news, and I responded with my condolences, and I ended with, I wrote my first song with him. She quickly responded, contaminated water. I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. How in the world did she know that? So probably at 4th or 5th grade, we were walking home from Mark Twain School, looked at the creek, the water had stopped, it was dammed up, it looked rough, it smelled rough, it looked nasty, and thus we wrote a song, Contaminated Water. It's white, it's rotten, it feels like cotton, contaminated water. It's amazing. Our lives are intertwined, and Miamisburg High School was a garden so fertile it has fueled us for a lifetime. Remember, you can't make old friends. My stories are your stories, and they're our stories. And God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you.
That was absolutely wonderful. And now I would like to invite the class of 1997, Andrea, Schnapp, to give their response. Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, all three of us. It's all three of us. We're working together. I got it. That's one speech. Rochelle. Yeah, don't worry. We're not all sorry. We're going to put girls for the section. Go ahead. Yeah, don't worry. We're not. We are. All right. So, I am Andrea Schnapp, Stotler. Not to be confused with my beautiful mama, but I mean, I've been told I look like her.
That's who I thought I was calling up.
I know. I'm glad that I do. So, okay, so thank you first of all to the officers. Thank you to the committee. That includes my beautiful mom, class of 1964. A special thanks to Samantha, class of 83, for keeping all of these straight and together. And I have to give a special thanks in recognition to, it will always be Shelley, but it's Rochelle, Weiss, Arnett. She was voted most spirited and I mean, it is like she has lived up to it. I mean, and she kept our blue blood alive last night at Bennett's. So believe me, 4 Advil later, you know. So anyway, so most of the class of 1997 started our journey in 1984 at one of 5 of Miamisburg's elementary schools. Mound, yes, go first, Kinder, Bear, Bauer, or Mark Twain. Growing up, we spent our Saturdays at Harmon Field with the Wee Vikes, dancing at Vicky Joe's dance studio, or playing ball at Rice Field where that intoxicating aroma of the sewage plant next door helped us cherish those memories. We rode our bikes to the pool to swim in what we now think was radioactive water, which is now our excuse for how crazy we are. And considering I married a transplant, he's from outside of Miamisburg, he definitely can validate that there was something in that water. But we still like them.
We
Yes,
still like
we do.
him.
We do. He's allowed. Then we headed over to Dairy Queen, or the ice cream trolley, to beat that summer heat. We came together in 1991 to start 7th grade at Anna K. Wantz Middle School. There was no air conditioning at that time. In the school dress code required we wear shorts that came past our fingertips. For those of us who work with or are parents of teenagers today, we truly wish that those dress codes still applied. In middle school, we started getting into fashion, music, and going out, to which our parents always responded, "Where are you going?" We put on our best IOU sweatshirt, hypercolor, silk button-up shirt with our Guess jeans and a gold chain necklace while listening to Garth Brooks or In Vogue on our Walkmans. After school, we walked down to Double D's Carryout for some candy, or maybe made our way to say hello to Lynn at the Coffee Cup. We visited the Hamburger Wagon, Daisy's Chicken for those dumplings, or Papa's Pizza Palace, where we could get a personal pizza and a breadstick for $5. On the weekends, we would hit up the Rockin' Bowl at Royal Z Lanes, or hang out at the Dayton Mall. So now I'm going to turn this over to Allison, known as Allie, Kreitzer Masters.
So in 1993, we were the first freshman class to attend the Miamisburg High School building on Belvoir Road. Although the freshman wing did not match the inventive pod architecture of the rest of the high school, we enjoyed being in brand new classrooms where the walls actually went to the ceiling. Many of us began driving during our sophomore year. For those of us that could afford to buy our own cars, we bought Dodge Neons with a price tag of $11,395, Geostorms at $10,390, or Chevy Cavaliers at $10,500. Others went for the used models or had to borrow their parents' cars. But luckily, we could afford the gas prices at the time, which was $1.23 per gallon. We started driving around town, and we would call the movie line to see which of the 8 theaters at the mall were playing our favorite movie, such as Billy Madison, Scream, the original Jurassic Park, or anything with Leonardo DiCaprio. If we couldn't afford the $4.59 movie ticket, we'd head over to Take Two Video to rent the classics like Grease, Shag, Tommy Boy, or Wayne's World. Many of us appreciated the value of $1 when we started getting jobs during our junior year. We bagged groceries at Cub Foods, served tables at Friendly's or Perkins, dressed up as the mouse at Chuck E. Cheese, or worked for Miamisburg Parks and Rec Department as lifeguards, camp counselors, and maintenance crew in the summer. And now Miss School Spirit herself, Shelley Weiss, Arnett.
The summer also found many of us at Granny's Ool. Notice there is no P in it. Please keep it that way. And thank you, Granny, for always letting us hang out at your house. We also spent time in Andy Pizzo's barn, which was cleverly named the Hoochie Parlor, where we drank Boone's Farm wine, Jack Daniel's Down Home Punch, Zima, Mad Dog 2020, Milwaukee's Best, or whatever we could sneak out of the refrigerator without our parents noticing. By the way, I had to give that line because I'm the only one whose parents aren't here tonight. And for those of you who have parents, please do not tell Steve and Carolyn. We spent our Friday nights at football games or basketball games, where we were always greeted by the smiling faces of our Booster Club queens, Karen Schnapp and Jane Weissong, followed by late nights at Ron's Pizza on 12th Street, where I am sure we drove the staff crazy, but we appreciate Ron for always supporting students at MHS. And happy belated 90th birthday to Ron.
Yes.
Times were changing in 1997. Miamisburg finally had its own McDonald's and Taco Bell, where a taco was only 59 cents. Much of the technology we see today was just beginning our senior year, such as a thing called the World Wide Web. A few of us even had our own America Online accounts, and it only took about 10 minutes to dial up, listen to the sound of the phone connecting to the modem, and for the page to upload. We were even able to download music in the 90s, and by that I mean we would wait by the stereo system, press record on the cassette player when our favorite song came on, Z93. Our Walkmans became Discmans as vinyl records and cassette tapes went out of style. And we were listening to Alanis Morissette, Nirvana, Dave Matthews Band, Keith Sweat, and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Some people actually had car phones, and although cell phones had been invented, it was more likely you would get a hold of your friends by paging their beeper, and then they would call you back on a payphone. The fashions had changed as well. We shopped at American Eagle for the best flannel shirt and jeans, worn with Birkenstocks or Timberlands. We ditched the Aquanet and 6-inch bangs for a more natural hairstyle. The boys were sporting the curtain hairstyle / bowl cut while wearing too much Drakkar Noir. And if you were an athlete, you were always sporting your varsity jacket bought and stitched at Subman's Menswear. Our senior year had many highlights with our athletic programs. We played in the Mid-Miami League, where girls basketball, boys basketball, and the baseball team were all league champions. The football team went 10-2 and just missed the league title, but I have to note, even though none of them are here, that they were undefeated their freshman year and didn't win the MML as freshmen. The girls basketball team made it all the way to the sectional finals, while the boys had a tremendous game against Franklin that year, beating them 101-54. In wrestling, the Vikings finally beat the Pirates in the black and blue wrestling tournament for the first time in 20 years. And I'm pretty sure at this point those roles have been reversed. Girls soccer had the best record in MHS history with a 10-7-1 record, while the boys only missed their record by 1 game. In girls track, Jilden Brockus made it to the state championship meet in high jump, where she placed 5th. But the athletic organization that gets the most acclaim was definitely our color guard, who won every invitational they competed in